We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah! La ilaha illallah! Muhammadur Rasulullah! There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Okay, so there you have it, man. First and foremost, before I get into it, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Badash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who were very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh Bahashem Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Bahashem Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. And everything, is ultimately, falling into place, right? As Esau Edom ultimately, has pre-planned it. Right, going back to the Balfour Declaration, right, and we got a piece of it right here, right, by everything that has taken place, right, is ultimately, is pre-planned by Esau Edom, right. Everything is following, his agenda, which scriptures say in 2 Corinthians 2:11. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right. We're not ignorant of his evil intent, his evil purpose, right. We understand, what's going on, right, and why it's happening. This is all going, according to Esau Edom's plan, right? And we're going to read it right here. It says at the top, it says General Albert Pike, 33rd degree, right, which means 33rd degree Mason. It's just quoted from the Freemason, the organ of English Freemasonry, 19th January 1935. So this is in the works, right? This has been in the works, right? It says in 1871, Giuseppe Mazzini issued a remarkable letter in which he graphically outlined plans for 3 world wars, which again, where according to the scriptures, there are 3 world wars, right? The first war had happened, the second war would happen, and according to Revelation, 11 and 14, it says, "Whoa, the third woe cometh quickly," right? So this is ultimately, in the works, right? World War III is in the works, right? It says, until recently, this letter was on display in the British Museum Library in London. Pike aided in making this plan known in the U.S. It was a blueprint for 3 wars called the Mazzini-Pike Plan. It says the ultimate goal was eventually world domination, which we understand that this has always been, Esau Edom's goal, right? Esau Edom has always wanted, to create, a one world government, right, where he's ultimately on top, of all these governments, right, going back to, the Tower of Babel, right, going back to Daniel, the 3rd chapter, right, even in First Maccabees, the 1st chapter. Matter of fact, we'll grab that real quick just to prove that point, and then we'll come back. This is First Maccabees, the 1st chapter. Here's on the right here. First Maccabees 1 and 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus, which is going into Antiochus Epiphanes IV, right, which is a Greek, right, an Edomite, right? It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, right? So he would have, right, a world domination, right, or in that time, right, the known world, right, world domination, right? It says, and everyone should leave his laws. It says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. It says, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. And where you see that today, right, you got a lot of, simple as Jakes, right, like LeBron, like, Floyd Mayweather, and, many others, right, many you know, what is it, Spike Lee, and you know, many celebrities, as well as many unknown people, right, of you know, within the nation of Israel, that ultimately consent unto this damn devil's religion, right? That you know, they're okay with this damn devil being over them, man. You know. But again, just that, you know, just getting that point. You know, again, this is you know, Esau Edom's MO, right? Continuing on, it says the letter outlined 3 relatively simple strategies. It called for communism, fascism, and the struggle for the Mid-East to ferment 3 global wars and at least 2 major revolutions. World War I was to destroy the Tsarist government of Russia and replace it with militant atheism, right? It says World War II would begin by manipulating Great Britain and Germany to achieve a global war, which was done almost single-handedly by Adolf Hitler, right, man? You know, and that's ultimately, which, you know, you go into it, you know, a little bit deeper, man. You know, it ultimately started with a, you know, the killing of I can't remember his freaking name, man. Man, I can't remember his freaking name for the life of me, man. You know, fucking flesh. But anyways, right, it ultimately spiraled out of hand. And who are the 2 main players, right, within World War III? It would be who? It would be Great Britain, right? America was in there as well, but it would be also Germany, man. You know what I mean? So again, this is just part of Esau Edom's plan, right? That what he wanted to play out, right? We understand that, you know, all these governments today and everything that's ultimately happening, right? These governments are not moving autonomously. You know what I mean? The elites, right? The Rockefellers, DuPonts, Gettys, Oppenheimers, so on and so forth. They're all, you know, in control, right, of all these governments, man. You know what I mean? And they ultimately call the shots, right? So if they want, you know, a situation set up or a government overthrown, and well, guess what, man? They'll speak to a certain government, right, or the heads of that government, and it'll trickle all the way down that this is what they want done. You know what I mean? And it'll ultimately happen, man. You know? But continuing on, it's in World War III. It says of the Mazzini Pike blueprint called for the firing up of the controversy between Israeli and Muslim world, and this is what we see going on today, right? We just watched the video, right? You just had, you know, what they call Muslims, right, saying that this is the #1 religion, you know, so on and so forth, and they're threatening, right? They said they're not going to stop until, you know, basically, you know, Islam is in every home. Right, and recently there's been, you know, right, there's a lot of clash that's going on between this. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people that are for the Israelis. You got a lot of people that are for the Muslims, man. You know what I mean? You got people that are in the middle, but ultimately, you know what I mean? They're eventually going to have to pick a side, man. You know, as far as what's going on, right? You got people. I think there was a lady, you know, that that was ripping down, you know, posters and stuff like that, right? And ultimately telling, you know, a Palestinian lady, right, that she hopes that, you know, basically, you know, her and her baby and, you know, her family ultimately get raped and killed and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of tension between the two. You know what I mean? And this is ultimately going to continue to spill over, right? But again, this is all going according to Esau's plan, right? It says they hoped that the Zionists and the Muslims would destroy one another and bring the rest of the world into a final conflict, right? As the scriptures say. Matter of fact, let's go to this real quick, right? Because it's prophecy, right? That what's going on over there, you know, between Israel and Gaza, or Israel and Hamas, right? It's prophesied that this will ultimately take place, man. Right? Jumping up to Jeremiah, which brothers have been going in on this prophecy, man. Right? Because, hey, guess what, man? We're just one step closer to the kingdom, man. But this is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 45. It says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh about Shem Shah that he hath taken against Babylon. Right? Because ultimately this conflict is going to spiral out of hand. And who's going to be the main one, right, to receive, you know, that judgment, that punishment, right? It's going to be America, right? Which America has ultimately moved, you know, their largest warship over to the Mediterranean Sea. And you got all these nations, right, such as Turkey, right, and Australia, you know, getting together and, you know, and agreeing with, you know, Turkey and even Russia and so on and so forth, all talking about America's ultimately just moving his warship, you know, in place just to, you know, what's going on, man, to create a massacre, man. You know, so all these nations are looking at America like, hey, if you do something, it ain't gonna be too good for you, man. You know what I mean? So this is what's going on, right? Continuing on, it says, in his purpose that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, right? So again, this situation, right, very well could, which we understand that this World War III is not ultimately going to pop off before, you know, Jacob's trouble ultimately comes, right? It has order, right? 1 Corinthians 14:40, all things shall be done decently and in order, right? Which we understand Jacob's trouble has to come first, and then World War III. But nonetheless, we're at the point where this is about to, you know, boil over, right? So how much closer, right, is Jacob's trouble, man? You know, that's what we should be thinking about, right? But again, it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. That's right, man. You know, so again, this is prophesied that these two nations will be at each other's necks, man. You know, it says they hope that the Zionists and the Muslims would destroy one another and bring the rest of the world into a final conflict, right? It's like it says the great battle would usher in a complete social, political, and economic chaos. To fill the void created by the great battle would come a world government headed by the Illuminati. In Illuminati doctrine, Lucifer is God and Satanism is heresy, right? So, so again, this is ultimately what they have planned, right? Going and through the Spirit, right? this Esau's agenda is being revealed, right? Let's grab this real quick. You know, was it 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8, just getting the point. Actually, I'll start verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way, right? So at the end of the day, right, we understand that Yahweh Shai is in control of all things, and he's allowing this damn devil, right, to you know, take, you know, certain steps, take certain steps, right, to ultimately work towards, you know, solidifying his agenda, right? And ultimately it's to allow this damn devil's pride to, you know, get to a heightened state, right? That way, when the Lord ultimately comes down with his wrath on this damn devil, right, it will be a great fall, you know? The bigger they are, the harder they fall, man. You know what I mean? So Lord's allowing this damn devil's pride to go up by allowing him to ultimately make progress, right, when it comes to his agenda, man. You know? Verse 8, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, which is being revealed now, right? Jeremiah 49:10, right? Making bare the leg, man. You know, uncovering the thigh, right? Revealing this damn devil's agenda, man. And this is why he ultimately tore down, you know, the Georgia Guidestones, man, right? Because his agenda was ultimately tore down and he was trying to get rid of it. But you can't get rid of it, man. The information's already out there, man. People already know. Even the average Joe, man, you ask them about the Georgia Guidestones and so on and so forth, right? The people that consider themselves to be woke, and they'll tell you about it, man. You know what I mean? It says, and when, you know, the people really weren't hip to that information until Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah ultimately rose up, right? The elder apostles, and they started speaking on the Illuminati and, you know, you know, so on and so forth, man. Now everybody's into it, hip to it, man. You know what I mean? So again, the Lord rose up his prophets to reveal who this damn devil is, and everybody's starting to see that, man. You know, it says the Lord shall consume. It says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, right? So again, right, the Lord is sending out his prophets, right? And it's through his prophets, right, this information is being brought out, man. You know, and this is why this damn devil is in fear, right, when he sees the prophets, man, because that means that he is, you know, that means he is, you know, not going to be in power for very long, man, right? Esau knows this, man, right? This is why he's trying so hard to hurry up and push his agenda, right? This whole situation, spiraled out of control quick, man. You know, I wouldn't put it past, right, the dude that was speaking in the video, you know, if he wasn't you know, ultimately a plant, man. You know, this whole thing is a fucking psyop, man. You know? But going back to it, right? It says near the battle, it says the bottom, it says the great battle would usher in a complete social, political, and economic chaos, right? You know what I mean? And this is exactly what's ultimately happening, right? America is ultimately falling, right? You're about to see, you know, America ultimately spin into chaos, man, right? With this whole, you know, division, right? Some people being for, you know, Israel, some people being for, for Gaza, right? The Muslims, man, right? That very well could start, a civil war within America, man. Very well could start, man. Which is prophesied, right? Scriptures talk about the Egyptians, right? Let's grab that. Let's grab that in Isaiah 19 and right here. It says Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom." Right. So this is ultimately what's going to spiral out of hand. Right. And it's going to go all the way down to, Jacob and Esau. Right. Jacob rising up against Esau. Right. Fighting against Esau. You know what I mean? This is what's ultimately happened. Yeah, he did. But yeah, man. So this is ultimately what is going to happen, right? You're going to have race wars and a civil war, right, within America here soon, man. We see it right through the spirit. We see this happening. We see this coming to pass. It's not too far fetched, man. We're just ultimately waiting, right? We're waiting for that chaos to spring forth, right? Because then Esau Edom is ultimately again going to take the next step in the process, which is what? Order Abkeo, as you've seen in the video, right? He's going to allow that chaos to spring forth, right? There might be something that, that transpires, right? There might be a fight, right? That it might break out and it might lead to a brawl. And then next thing you know, it's televised. And next thing you know, everywhere, in America, right, where they have these protests, right? It might start fights and so on and so forth. And, right, we don't necessarily know exactly how, it's going to play out, right? But that's just speculation at this point, man, right? But it's not too far-fetched, so we have to keep our eyes out, right, on the things that's ultimately, coming down the pipe, man, because there's many ways, many things that could ultimately come from, this whole situation, man, But I want to go back. I had pulled up Psalms, the 64th chapter. And we'll start at the top, right? It says, Psalm 64:1 says to the chief musician, a psalm of David. It says, "Hear my voice, O Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai. In my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy." That's right, man. This is what we pray constantly, right? That Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai ultimately, preserve us, right? Keep us, right? Unto the day of deliverance, man. All the way through these trials and tribulations that are about to come. Right, Jacob's trouble, World War III, so on and so forth, man. Verse 2, it says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." And this ultimately, this Balfour Declaration, why it was created, I want to say maybe 100 years ago, a little less than 100 years ago, as we read. Right, I said 1935, right? It could have been obviously before that, man. Let's see, Actually, it says 1871, and who knows? It could be before him, right? They were drawing up the plan, revising it, editing it, right? They were already talking about it, and this was just the final, copy, man, right? So it's been over 100 years, 150 plus years, right, in the making, right? This whole situation. So they've had plenty of time, to ultimately orchestrate everything and put things into place and, so on and so forth, man, So this has been in the works, been in the making, right? They have these G summits and, little, private meetings and so on and so forth, right? They're going to the Bohemian Grove. They had the Jeffrey Epstein Island and, so on and so forth, all these different meetings, right? And they ultimately come up with a plan. They say, okay, what's the next move, right? They look over the plan, right? That's been in the works, right? They look over it and say, okay, well, we might need to edit, right? We might need to revise it, because there's a loop or a loop in the chain or something like that, right? So that's what they do, man. Continuing on, verse 3, it says, "Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly they shoot at him and fear not." Right? Because ultimately Esau Edom's agenda is, really geared towards the Israelites, man. Everything that he does is to ultimately, eradicate and to remove the Israelites out of the picture, man, and to get his birthright back, right? We understand that there's no repentance for this damn devil, man. He's not going to get his birthright back, Verse 5, it says, "They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?" Right, man? And really, again, right, Yahweh B'Shem Shah sees them, man. You know, there's nothing that you can do and nowhere you can hide, right? That you're gonna be able to, you know, ultimately escape, you know, from the ears of Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai. It's nowhere, man. You know, the Lord literally, you know, has angels everywhere. You know, scripture said the eyes of the Lord 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and the sun covers the whole earth, man. You know, that light covers the whole earth at one point or another, man. You know, the Lord is saying what? His eyes, right, which are the angels, are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. Right? Penetrating everywhere, everything, right? Through things. Right? So the Lord can see what these damn devils are saying, man. You know? And that's beautiful too, man. And that ultimately is a faith booster because it lets you know that, hey, everything that's going on, everything that's happening, the Lord is in control. Right? Then nothing random is happening. This is all orchestrated by Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai, man. Right? And he's letting us know through the Spirit what's going on, right? By way of his prophets, you know? So we're not left in the dark, you know? Continuing on verse 6, we'll just read the whole chapter. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, right? So Edom really has studied, right? He's really gone, okay, so how do I do it? How you know, they do the little studies on, you know, they'll throw, you know, ask certain people certain questions and see how they react, right? They'll go to another country or whatever, ask them the same question, see how they react, you know what I mean? Or give them you know, a certain drug and see how they react if their body rejects it, this and that, right? All these experiments that Edom has done, right, wasn't, you know, for no reason or just because he's cruel, which he is cruel, right? And we understand that, you know, a lot of that is because he's a hateful devil. He is cruel. But at the same time, Esau was gathering his fucking data, man. You know, he's gathering his data on what he can use, right, to best influence the people, man. You know, to get them to do what he wants them to do, right? This damn devil, hey, man, he's a dumb motherfucker, but he ain't stupid, man. You know? Verse 7, it says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. That's right, man, because again, at the end of the day, the Lord is going to ultimately disappoint the devices of the crafty. Let's grab that real quick. Right, Job, I think it's 5 and 12. Right, Job chapter 5 verse 12, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right, man, the Lord is ultimately going to stop them dead in their tracks, man. Right, Job 20 and 23, right? When he's about to fill his belly, right, the Most High should cast the fear of his wrath upon him, man. So that's literally while he's eating, he's not going to be able to finish his plate, man. You know, which means he's not going to be able to fully establish his NWO, right, before the Lord ultimately intervenes, man. You know, so let's go back. Psalm 64 and we'll read verse 7 again. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. That's right, man. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai, you know, he's cold, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai is cold because, right, as everything, it seems like it's about to spiral out of hand, at the same time, he's got World War III brewing, man. You know, so this situation could lead to the chaos, right, which means, you know, martial law, which means Jacob's trouble. And at the same time, World War III is brewing, man. So as soon as World War III pops off, or it's lucky, as soon as Jacob's trouble pops off, World War III is going to pop off, man. Right? And it's that quick we could be in the kingdom, man. It could be a few weeks. It could be a couple months, right? It could be before the year ends, man. Right? We don't know yet, right? We don't know the hour, the time. Only Yahweh knows the time, man. Not even Yahweh Shai knows the time. You know? That's how heavy it is, man. You know, but again, at the same time, what keeps us, you know, keeps us, you know, moving forward, keeps us hopeful is that Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai is in charge, and he's letting us know what's going on, man. Right? Two-thirds don't know what's going on. Right? So it's a blessing to be kept in the loop, you know? It's a blessing, man. You know? You can't take it for granted, man. That's why we have to constantly do the work, man. Constantly serve Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai to the best of our ability, so that way we're not caught, you know, with our pants down, man. Constantly examining ourselves, right? Luke 21, verse 34, man. You know? Verse 9, it says, and all men shall fear. So like verse 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. all that see them shall flee away. And this is what's going on, right? Because what happened, right? How do we know about the Balfour Declaration, right? Because the Esau done revealed that. They said that they were putting it on display, you know? They were putting it on display for people to see it, man. You know what I mean? And then he made it, and then he made it known, right, in the U.S., right, as well as many different other things, right. Right now, we're seeing, at least personally, I've seen a few videos of them ultimately staging, right, reporters in certain areas and training them and talking to them on what they need to do, right, to make it look like, you know, they're caught in the middle of the fire, man. You know what I mean? Again, just actors, man. You know, fucking actors, man. You know, which that, you know, is beautiful. That brother Yuana, man, he told me about that word actor, right? When you go into that word actor, it means a hypocrite, man. You know, and we know that what the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment, man. And we understand that their moment is almost up, man. You know, but continue on, verse 9, it says, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing, right? And we're in the time where the Lord Yahweh B'Shem El Shai is going to make his name known again to the whole world, just like it was in the time of Egypt, man. You know what I mean? The Lord's going to make his name known, right, majorly, and it's going to stay that way for all eternity, man. Once the Lord does his work here in modern day Egypt, nobody's going to forget the name of the Lord ever again, man. That's how great the destruction and the deliverance is going to be, you know? It says, verse 10, and we'll close it out. It says, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. That's right, man. You know, Lord will part of the elect. Lord will, right? The Lord keeps his spirit on us to continue all the way to the end. Yeah, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a tough time, tough moments that are coming down the pipe. But at the same time, man, right? We're not afraid of evil tidings, man. Right? This is good news, man. It's not bad news. It's good news, man. You know? Good news for those that truly believe, right? Because we're that much closer to the end, to the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. You know, the end of Esau's world and the beginning of our world, right? Beginning with Yahweh Shai's world, man. You know, we're almost at the end, man. So keep the faith, keep pushing, right? Just keep praying as much as possible, man. You know, so with that, Lord will is edifying. Lord will, straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem. Rachak Wadash, double honor to the elder apostles, elder bishops of the great millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.